All right, we're back with the morning crossfire right here at 99.3 Nigerian for Dailies today. And the man himself is back, like Patito's gang. Uncle Jimi, good morning to you. It's good to have you. Yeah, that was my favorite line.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Morning, everybody. How are you?
You're looking so fresh.
I'm looking fresh because I'm beginning to do the wise thing. When I'm not on duty, I don't bother myself with current affairs.
About Nigeria.
Yes. But every day, Kofi, every day, whenever I take time out to then think, I can see the country crumbling inch by inch. I'm sorry, I sound like a doomsday. Some people have said that I'm a doomsday prophet.
Prophet of doom.
You can see it, it's quite clear. A community would kill soldiers and policemen, behead them, carve them up.
So sad.
Anyway, let's go.
Really sad. You can call, and of course we're streaming live on YouTube as well. Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. Search for that YouTube account. We're streaming live on Facebook. Search for Nigeria Info FM 99.3. That's Nigeria space Info space FM space 99.3. Let's start with this one. In Vanguard, aftermath of soldiers' killings, bloodbath in Delta, villagers flee, hide in forests. There are so many writers to this. Uncle Jimmy, I read the writers in the morning. Should I go over them again? Okay. Military on rampage. Well, let me read a few. Military on rampage arrests community leader. Others over alleged harboring of perpetrators. As troops storm Bayelsa community raised buildings, there are some claims that some people died there. Some fear dead. Oberewo revisits community after 4 days. What triggered bloodbath inhabitants? Resort to propaganda by Kwama community. Carlos, totally condemnable Nigerian army. How soldiers were ambushed, killed in Delta community. Major General Iseka Igbe, retired, he was here on info. Killing of 16 soldiers by Arid youth, unacceptable defense ministers. Senate charges security agencies to smoke out undesirable outlaws. Senator Ndume, Rep Balami, Mon, Danjuma Shafa, NHRC also is trained. I will just leave it at that.
Okay.
Sad one.
When you said Senate says they should flush out, what was it you just read now? It says they should flush out, smoke out undesirable outlaws. By the time you finish doing that, if you ever did, and of course you can't, there'll be nobody left in you see, over the years, we've been breeding. Over the years, we've been breeding citizens who are very, very close to the animal kingdom in the ways that we have treated them. All the monies we threw at the Amnesty program ended up in the hands of a few. And all lost and turned around ended up in various legitimate businesses. Airlines, name it. And so the creme de la creme, the elite of those areas, they have all the money. They have the big boys now. Security units, they have airlines, they have this, they have that. But the people are becoming more and more, and I want to use a coined word now, animalized. A lot of Nigerians have become animals in human skin. Because even, let's just look at it, Kofi, from a very simplistic manner. Even if you were going to believe their own account of what happened, which I most likely won't, look at the manner in which those soldiers were killed, according to what we heard, beheaded, and so on and so forth. All because of a so-called dispute with another community. First of all, I'd like to say that we sympathize a lot with the military. I do. And I think a lot of people should. These people, despite what you might say, despite what you might think, despite the fact that one bag head could probably spoil the whole bad lot, it still takes a lot for a man to wear a uniform and put his life on the platter for his country. Most of our elites, selfish, they will never do it. They wouldn't even do anything for the sake of this country. So, I'm glad that one thing, I'm not a supporter of President Tinubu. That is well known. But one thing that I respect him for, one thing, amongst a few others, because it's not as if I'm highly critical of him, yes, so that he can get it right. But one thing I give to him is the swift response to things like this. And he has responded appropriately.
Yeah.
And we shall now see where it goes. There's going to be a bloodbath. Anywhere in the world you don't kill that level of soldiers, I think they're going to march in like policemen with handcuffs.
Jimi.
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Yes. There's going to be a bloodbath.
But the NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, is saying they should urgent restraint.
You can't restrain an angry man. Are these soldiers not citizens like you and I?
But innocent people. Collateral.
Wait now. Look, let's face it. That's why I said that. Look, Nigeria is gradually moving towards the animal kingdom.
Are we not already there?
Everybody is in a rage. And you think that knowing that their colleagues were killed in this manner, they're going to go in there with handcuffs? You got to be kidding. Wait, this man is coming here on Thursday. Blade, I like him for when the things like that come, because you know he's a hardcore soldier. He's coming here on Thursday. You will hear what he will tell you. So the truth is, the governor, everybody has to brace up. I don't know how the chief of army staff is going to contain his men. In all honesty, I'd like to be very frank. I don't want to quote. Let us be prepared for the worst.
So what do you say to NHRC and others who urgent restraint? Because
everybody is doing his job.
Uncle Jimi, this is going to breed another issue of generations of
course,
aggrieved people who hate Nigeria.
When I tell you, if not just that, when I tell you, and I tell you that every morning after I've said a little prayer, I listen to my Bob Marley. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. You will see where this country is headed, because by the time the military are ready to move in, what do you think the other communities will be doing? We don't know.
We hear journalists are not even allowed to enter the community.
We don't know. We don't know what they are ready for. And don't forget that these guys too are also armed to the teeth. And like they say, uniform na cloth na tailor this one. The difference between you and a trained militant is just the uniform that you wear. They have RPG, they have everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a very, very tense.
Uncle Jimi, yes, the army have a right to go after, and to avenge their. And we know how they operate.
They don't have a right to go avenge. I didn't say that.
Is that what you said?
I didn't say no.
Okay,
no.
they are modus operandi.
I said that is what is likely going to happen.
Okay, good.
I didn't say no. You don't. What the law dictates. To be honest with you, what the law dictates is that you go in and bring the perpetrators, you hang them and take them to court.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that unless God intervenes, that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, and this is a scale we've not seen.
It's a declaration of war.
But some people are watching the body language now. The comments from some Nigerians. First of all, let me just is that this has happened several times in another part of the country, and villages were not razed down.
Come on, I beg, leave me out of that. I will not analyze. I won't even analyze that.
Okay.
Do you know why? The mischief makers are at work again. This thing is very clear. There's some clash between two communities. The soldiers have the constitutional rights. What do you mean it happened in other places and didn't happen? I'm not a party to that kind of talk. There we go again. There we go again. There's nothing, even when we do our analysis, some people will still say that, there were more stories from the East. I'm not going to go into all that. All right. I'm going to look at the issue straight in the eye.
Now, looking at the issue straight now, Uncle Jimi, I've been in Niger Delta and I've seen some of these things happen. And going by what you're saying, I agree with you, sir.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what happened in Oyigbo, which I won't want to say a lot more, during that, after the NSAS, when some of our people went and attacked police stations and attacked some military, some soldiers, and killed them, burned some of them alive in gruesome manner.
Yes.
The military, there was declared a state of emergency in Oyigbo.
Yes.
The military went in, and what happened? Sir, what happened? Except maybe you were a woman. Free to go. Boys, men.
Yeah, you see, it goes back to what I've said. Because of poverty and so many other things, look at the stupendous amount of money we put into this amnesty program and so on and so forth. You need to see the way these people live. You've lived in Port Harcourt. You need to see the way these people live in the Niger Delta. Could anybody come out? I've seen some documentaries that frighten me. I've seen documentaries drinking water laden with petrol and all kinds of things, drinking. We have dehumanized them. And what I will do, the reference I can make that people like Kelvin and co would be something that Fela said in one of his songs, that Big Botha said when the fight in apartheid got to a point.
That's apartheid song.
Yes. That this uprising that they brought out is going to bring out the beast in the military. I don't know how the Chief of Army Staff, because the Chief of Army Staff, I'm talking the truth now. It's difficult for him to tell his people.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
But Uncle Jimmy, isn't this going to possibly raise another round of agitation again? That should, if we can avert, if it raises an agitation,
Nigeria
does not need.
If it raises an agitation, you'll be lucky. You better brace yourself for something. For something worse than that.
Because people could just say, okay, that narrative I raised earlier.
But I am happy. I am happy that the president reacted very quickly and stood by the military.
All right.
I'm very happy. Right. I'm happy that he didn't play politics to say, okay, we will do this. He said, no, go after them. Go after them.
He said it's an attack on the nation.
He said that. So what does that tell you? They are enemies.
And he signed it with himself with his green pen.
I don't know if he signed it with the green pen. Kofi, don't come and add any drama. I don't know if he signed it with the red.
That's what
I don't know if he signed it with the green pen.
Himself.
But I'm glad that very, very quickly it was. And that's one thing I said I like about President Tinubu in the course of his job.
All right.
It's just that I have other,
You're slowly having a soft spot for the man.
Shut the man.
Yeah.
I don't have a soft or hard spot. I like anybody who gets the job done. Okay. My life is at stake.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
Let me just hand over the next one to you.
Okay.
The editorial in the killing of soldiers in Delta Barbaric.
Okay. In the Punch.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the editorial said virtually all what needs to be said. And he says that the highlights. It says that President Bola Tinubu described these killings as unprovoked. His order to fish out the attackers is well placed, but the president should add that there should be no extrajudicial acts by the military. I think that's playing to the gallery. To say that there will be no blood losses, you've got to be kidding. When on the one hand you have said that this is an act of war, the only thing you do with war, during war with an enemy, is to hack them down, unless they quickly surrender. But we have the same problem, Kofi, even with kidnappers. Even with kidnappers, we have this same problem. But okay, so they say similarly, other commentators have condemned the lethal attack on the military personnel, and there are reports that the military has surrounded the communities. The citizens fearing reprisals by the military have been fleeing to neighboring communities. Viral images of armored vehicles and burning houses suggest that the military has gone into action. But this paragraph is very interesting. Kofi, listen to this one. The Okwama killings expose the brutal reality that too many weapons are in the wrong hands in the country. That horse has bolted. We can't do anything about that again. To de-escalate criminality, Tinubu should make disarming and denying of weapons to non-state actors a cardinal project of his administration. There's nothing the president can do about it again. He can only play to the gallery. The horse has bolted. You don't want to know. And then the routes by which these arms come in, forget it. I hope everybody is keeping an eye on what is happening in Haiti. Same scenario. In addition, the military and police must be painstaking in investigating the killings. They should spare the country another round of massacre by bringing only the culprits to justice. I hope they do that. That's the recommendation. That's what the law says. But I'm a realist, okay? Taking a bird's eye view, the federal government should begin to ameliorate the harsh conditions in the Niger Delta communities with the implementation of sound policies building. What about all the efforts we made in the past? Some of the people who sabotage our effort by stealing all the money are now celebrities in our country. They are now top guns. They are now decision makers. We know them, we see them. They own some of the best businesses in town. Loads and loads of naira, dollars, whatever it is. They are now almost, if care is not taken, very soon the presidency will get into the hands of one of them.
True.
This is why we talk about precedents, Kofi. When Yar'Adua started this amnesty program, the thinking behind it was that by now, peace should reign in that whatever. Instead, we courted them.
But it's been relatively peaceful.
Have you forgotten one of them who went to state house in? I wanted to say to Dan Barracks.
But Uncle Jimmy,
I was making speeches on the podium.
But Uncle Jimmy, it's been relatively peaceful compared to a Port Harcourt.
It was a piece of the graveyard, Kofi.
Better than bombs going off.
They were kept busy. All the money you threw at this exercise is ended up in private pockets.
But Uncle Jimmy, compared to the days where bombs were going off in Port Harcourt, where you be in your bullets were flying through your house.
You will see what will happen again now.
That's why they have to be restrained. That's what Editorial say. Yeah, Uncle Jimmy, remember what's the name of the guy who was killed? Is it Yusuf, the Boko Haram guy, the original?
Yes, original. See where we are now.
Obasanjo.
So why do you think this one will be different?
Which is why we have to learn from history.
Because we've done nothing. The people live in the most despicable situations, and yet that's the place where that's the point and area from which the whole country is standing on.
Are we going? But Uncle Jimmy, won't there be a danger if the army responds in the manner you've talked about? That is possible. You're not agitating for it, but would it be a danger of giving people another reason to have an uprising again?
Look, I'm even getting a bit tired. My own is that everybody should just brace himself, because there's no sincerity of purpose anywhere. This opportunity that you see now, this incident is provided another opportunity for lots of people to make a lot of money.
Sad, really sad one, sir. Let's go to Daily Trust. 86, I think it should be 87, abducted in fresh Kaduna attack. Bandits taking over farmland, Southwest farmers cry out. 73 cattle rustled in Plateau State.
Well, this is just an update on something that we know, really. It says here that bandits on Sunday night kidnapped 86 persons in Tantatu and Aguba communities in the Kufana district of Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. This is the 8th incident of kidnappings and attacks by bandits in the state within the last 1 month. Within the last 1 month, and they list the various incidents that you had. Also, there's another rider here that says that 73 cattle were rustled in Plateau. Gunmen attacked pastoralists in the Mila community of Bokos local government area of Plateau and rustled 73 cattle. Again, another story here. Bandits taking over our farmlands. Southwest farmers cry out. There's that crisis that is building up. If you're somebody who follows what's going on in the social media, part of this is also politics. Part of this is also an avenue for some concerned persons, or people who make themselves concerned persons, to make a humongous amount of money in the name of security. It's between politics and whatever. You see, it's a bit of this and a bit of that, in all honesty. And I don't know.
All right, interesting. We're still streaming live on YouTube, live on Facebook as well. Head to Nigeria Info FM on YouTube, Nigeria Space Info Space 99.3 on Facebook, and you can drop your comments on WhatsApp and Twitter or X as well. WhatsApp number is 0095 975805, 0809597505, and I'm seeing some comments coming in on our Facebook or WhatsApp. Let's read one here quickly. This one says, good morning, Uncle Jimmy and Kofi. Please, can you tell me the difference between animal kingdom and zoo that Nnamdi Kanu always talked about?
Yeah, leave this Biafra thing out of it.
He has a dictionary, you should check it. Anyway, another one says, good morning, Uncle Jimmy and Kofi. This approach of raising communities after killing of security agents has never brought to book those who committed these crimes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. He says the solution should be military. The solution should be military intelligence and police, CID, locating and arresting perpetrators instead of killing the innocent citizens. That's kind of thing, Lucky.
Yeah, he's made his points. He's right.
Okay, sir. Another one here for you. It says when Asari Dokubo and his boys were carrying sophisticated weapons and were marching only before last general election, nobody said anything. Now we are crying over the death of soldiers. Cheta is in Anthony Village.
Bingo. Spot on. That's how I refer to it. We've made some of them our heroes. We've made some of them our heroes. Some of them. Nigeria is such a complex one. Let's move on. There's some interesting stories.
Let's move on. Uncle Jimi, you didn't circle this, but I want you to talk about it.
What's that?
This picture here, the dialogue in honor of Professor Ben Umabweze. You know, a lot of things were said about constitutional amendment.
No, I saw it and decided that's not the major problem we have. We have a problem with the constitution. You will always have a problem with any constitution.
Okay.
Our problem is not so much the constitution. Our problem is to have dedicated and devoted leaders. There is a problem with running this country the way constitution we're running it. But the primary problem calls for responsibility. So I decided that there are more pressing matters now than of course I agree with them somewhat, but that's not the primary problem.
Okay.
If you took this same set of politicians to go and run the United Kingdom government, you'd be surprised at what they will do. A major problem is that we don't have that leadership. Our elite have let us down, and the boys quarters boys have moved into the main house. Period. We've had a kind of social revolution that has produced people who are almost inhuman. They don't give a hoot. Look at, there was a guy on CNN yesterday talking about Haiti. He pointed fingers at the elites who have a sense of entitlement to everything that the country has. That's the underlying problem.
May we never get there.
We are there. What are you saying? May we never get there?
God forbid.
How many do you Kofi? Look, there are very simple examples that one can give. All this so-called constitution. How can you, as a politician, are you going to rob this country blind? You've taken 160 million to buy a vehicle. We don't know what your salary is. And that you have constitutional projects and so on and so forth. That has nothing to do with constitution.
And some of them are the same ones who are.
They're the same ones.
If I read the list of people who spoke,
you should be lucky. You should be thankful there's a distance between me and you today.
Okay, we have the next one. EFCC obtains order to track Nigerians transacting on Binance. It's quite interesting.
Yes, but this is more. I don't know. To be honest with you, this cryptocurrency thingy, I don't understand. I've tried so hard to understand it, I've given up. I've said maybe it's out of my league, most likely, but this is just like some kind of information in case you're involved. Maybe this is the time to call your travel agent or whatever it is. The EFCC has obtained a court order to track Nigerians transacting on Binance. I know quite a lot of young guys who are loaded will be involved in this thing. So this is the time. This is just like a wake-up call. This is like a second yellow. Okay, it says that the team uncovered users who have been using the platform for price discovery, confirmation and market manipulation, which has caused tremendous distortion in the market, resulting in the naira losing its value against other currencies. The damage the platform has caused was clearly explained to the operators of the platform, and they were requested to delist the naira and avail the answer of the activities of the Nigerians on their platform. The information afforded to the team by Binance shows trading volume from Nigeria in 2023 alone, and it stood at $21.6 billion.
My God, that's a lot of money.
And they said that the requested data would help the commission to complete its investigation. So I suspect that quite a lot more people, there'll be attempts to bring them in and so on and so forth. So,
all right. That bullet you tried to dodge, or that ball you tried to avoid, is here. In Vanguard, page 8, Nigeria doomed without new constitution. Ayoko, Adebanjo, Nwachukwu, Ata, Sanwo-Olu.
Did I mark it?
A list of yes.
This is sabotage.
This cup is not passing from you.
This is not sabotage. But I think I've already. I don't want to waste so much time. Let me just read the names of some of the people who were involved. There was Zekome, SAN, Anya, there's Fayemi, there's Tambua, there's Daniel, there's Duke, there's Eregbeshola, and there's Ibori. My question is, did any of them look critically at himself in the mirror to ask that, what have I even done so far? What contribution have I made to the progress of this country? Talk is cheap. And I tell you, the problem of this country primarily is not the constitution. It's the dramatis personae and the mindsets that they have. I read out some of the names there.
Atta.
I read out some of the names, and I leave you to judge. Do you understand what I'm saying? I leave you to judge. I'm not going to comment on.
Did you listen to the governor's speech? That's perhaps the most inspiring speech I've heard him give.
Which governor?
Saholo. He spoke
he speaks well
on
anyway.
Federalism. Amazing.
No, I didn't listen to that. But he speaks
on
well.
federalism.
It speaks well.
All right, so let's take some of these news stories across the papers.
Yes, okay, very quickly. We don't have much time. I have just 5 minutes to do this. And because I also have there's a health page, Kofi, that we read out to our people. Okay, so parents of teenagers hit by tear gas canister declare police neglect. Pedestrians are worried over the damaged bridge railings in Lagos. Oh yes, please, Governor Sanwo-Olu, I hope you will pay attention to that. Rivers teenager arrested for alleged defilement of 11-year-old schoolmates. Man held for allegedly macheting 90-year-old grandma to death.
My God.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Then they have take ownership of public infrastructure. Lagos urges communities. To the health page very quickly, because I Sheriff and I, is our baby. We love to read this.
Okay.
So listen carefully, everybody at home. Report slurred speech, facial drooping early to avert stroke. If your speech is slurred or your face is drooping, it's likely that a stroke is on its way. And that's what we get from the health place from what we normally do. Inadequate data makes pediatric rheumatic diseases underreported. Beat depression. Now, this is another one, Kofi. Beat depression with laughter, music therapy, psychiatrists advise. Not to play the music now to turn your neighbor into a madman. Because then it says, decentralizing over 300 PHCs to improve healthcare delivery. Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu has explained that the decision to decentralize over 300 primary healthcare facilities is part of an effort to improve. I've been promising to bring the Commissioner for Health to this program to tell people so many people are dying. Just yesterday, another person that I know fairly well, he lost his wife. My condolences to Chika. He lost his wife under circumstances. So I promise that I'm going to bring the Commissioner for Health here. Weak regulatory control, fueling high drug costs. We also have that problem at hand, and I think on that note.
All right. We have Daily Digest up at 9 o'clock today.
Yes.
You went around yesterday, you returned today. So
Yes.
I know you're coming back to the bank, but just give us a bit of a teaser.
I'm coming back slowly.
Okay.
No, last Friday we had this gentleman from Jakonde. Yes. Yeah. So the government is sending 2 people.
Okay.
To come and explain their own side of things, to put it in a balance.
All right.
So that's what we have.
So,
but Blade will be here on Thursday.
On Thursday. All right. Here's a real jungle out there. In
is.
terms of the destroyed.
It is.
Yeah.
I spent the weekend, back and forth on, with the Commissioner for Information.
Okay.
At the end of the day, what we want is that we want our people well taken care of. That's the
all right.
bottom line.
All right, Uncle Jimi, thank you so very kindly for your time this morning. Sorry, the matters of this nation are really quite heavy.
They're heavy.
But may we never land in the situation of Haiti. Say
amen. I'll say amen. I'll say amen. I don't want any confusion.
Right, we'll go for a break commercial, and after that, we'll take the news at 8. Stay with us, please.
Is your heart racing because your MTN line is blocked? You can't make calls. You can't receive calls.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria